Welcome to Vator TV, the site on innovation and innovators, and this segment is our Lessons from Entrepreneurs, and I'm speaking with Tony Perkins, who founded Red Herring in 1993 and Always On in 2002, 2003. Tony?
Yes.
Why did you become an entrepreneur?
Because I was basically unemployable, and I didn't want to have a real job. And no, seriously, I think entrepreneurs, good entrepreneurs, and I have the benefit of covering them and acting as one, want to make a difference and change things. And I think with Red Herring, there was no real magazine covering the growth industries, and so I wanted to make that happen. And I think with Always On, I got really excited about participatory media and blogging, and it was just fun to keep rocking on using these new web technologies.
So give 3 pieces of advice that you would offer up to an entrepreneur.
Well, before you pick your partner, realize that it's like getting married, and it's not always going to be easy, but you have to work hard at maintaining a good relationship with your founders. So I think that's really important, because a lot of the early startups blow up because the partners don't end up not liking each other. I think the second thing is that just remember that cash is king. So if you try to build a business model where you can see profitability somewhere in sight, a lot of these companies end up raising too much venture capital money and going out of business. So I've always been very shrewd about angling towards profitability. And I think the third and probably most important lesson is just to realize that these overnight successes sure take a hell of a long time. So you got to be patient. I mean, I look back when I first had the idea for Always On in 2002, and what we've done since then has been a lot of fun. But if I knew how much work it would have been, I might not have done it. So I think every great thing takes time.
Right. Tell us one failure that helped you to become a better entrepreneur.
Well, my biggest failure was holding on to too much Red Herring stock as we went into the latter part of the bubble years, and I think what you want to make sure is that if you see a recession potentially coming down the road, you want to make sure that you have a secure financial foundation. You want to, in the case of media companies, it's very often important to have a big media partner. If the economy starts going bad, people will cut their advertising from the smaller brands. So I think that's something you got to pay attention to.
Now, who's inspired you as an entrepreneur?
I really have 2 heroes. One of first of whom is Steve Jobs. Of course, I grew up here in Silicon Valley like he did, and so I'm always happy to see a local boy do good. But I think just his focus on producing really good products. I just got my new iPhone, so I'm very excited about that. I've never used Windows in my life, so I bleed the Apple colors. But I just think his perfectionist approach, his desire to do really quality products, and it's certainly spilled over into his activities at Pixar, which has produced some of the great animation films of all time. So he would be one of my great inspirers. The other, of course, out of the media business would be Rupert Murdoch. He's close to 80 years old. He's still kicking, and he bought MySpace, when everybody said it was silly, and now it's clearly looking like it's one of the best things that he could have ever done. And then, interestingly, he's now buying, or hopes to buy, the Wall Street Journal. So he's buying a newspaper just when people think that newspapers are going to go out of fashion. So, again, I think a savvy guy like him realizes that no one medium will win, that it's the power comes in the combination of mixing all the mediums together. So I certainly watch Uncle Rupert as I think about my own business.
Well, thank you, Tony, for sharing your insights on how to be a great entrepreneur.
Always a pleasure.